Good evening, good evening, good evening. It is Monique Denton Davis. We are back. Yes, we are back finally at Sis Table Talk. We have an amazing guest here tonight. I just want to thank everyone just for all of their support, all of the calls, all of the prayers that I received, the messages. As everyone is aware, I did have a death in my family about actually a month ago, and 2 days I lost my mom. So the support has been absolutely amazing. Thank you for really keeping me in your prayers and all of the messages, all of the cards, everything that I received. So we are back in business with Sis Table Talk. Listen, Sisters Inspire Sisters has not stopped. Embrace Your Cake has not stopped. I have big shoes to fill and some heavy DNA. So what I can say to you is that the legacy will continue. Tonight is a very special discussion that we have, and it is about us. It's about sisters. It's about how we feel about ourselves. I call it my sister friend because we've been sister friends for some years now. And whenever we don't talk for a while, we might not talk. It might be months, it might be a year, and we get on the phone and we start talking, and the conversation just flows. And Miss Thamicha Isaac is also a member of the Sis Network, a contributing author to our upcoming anthology. So I am super excited just to talk about all of the amazing things that she's doing, all of the work in the community, and our topic tonight, which this is a good one. Okay, we're going to try and keep it for the 30 minutes, Tamesha, but this is a good one. Our self topic tonight is self-worth. And what does that look like for women of color? What does that look like for us? And does it look differently to other women? So, Tamesha, I'm going to throw the mic over to you, ask you just to tell us a little bit about you, what you do, and then we're going to get right into this conversation of self-worth.
Hi, everybody. Y'all see me over here fidgeting, right? Because I'm live on TikTok so that my TikTok family could join into the discussion.
Hey,
Well,
TikTok.
say hi, Monique. So for me, self-worth, oh my God, we were having such an amazing conversation about that. Self-worth for me is letting go of all of those toxic behaviors. When I say toxic, meaning the unhealthy, selfless behaviors that we often feel like we have to do as Black women. Let's take off the cape. Let's take off the Black woman superpower syndrome that we all suffer from. For us to self-love, self-care, self-worth, for us to do anything with self, we have to come back to self, which is center, which is us. And that means putting ourselves first and letting go of all of the things that we were taught, unlearning some things and
Yes.
adding some new things. So to me, that's what self-worth is all about.
So when I think about what you just said in the self-worth and unlearning some things, which is really, really important. So unlearning things, I think about that whole strong woman syndrome, right? And you talked about being the superwoman and wearing the cape. Where are you? Because most of us, I'm going to say 90% of Black women, we were raised one, we have to be strong. We were raised one, not to show our feelings. We were raised that we had to make sure that we were there. We were the caregivers, right, for others. But for you, when you made that shift, really realizing your self-worth, when did you make that shift and how did you make that shift? Like, how does a sister know, I really don't feel as good about myself or value myself as I think I do, or as I am portraying that I am? How do you know when it's real and when it's not?
So for me, that shift came 5 years ago, to be exact. It came 5 years ago where I felt like I had to be stripped down. And when I say stripped down, I mean stripped down, not in the physical sense, but stripped down in a mental, emotional sense to bear nothing. Meaning I was homeless with my 2 children. I was jobless, and it was all about finding who Tamesha really is to her core. Who is Tamesha?
Wow.
What does Tamesha want out of this life? What does Tamesha legacy look like? And by me digging deep within myself and unpacking all of the trauma that was happening, not only to me within that moment, but also to my children who was much younger. They are now 16 and 13, but we're talking 6 years ago. So one was 10 and the other one was 9, 7, around that age. And for me, it was like, okay, a friend, a very good friend, told me in that moment, she was like, Mish, what you do today is going to prepare you for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And what you do within the next 3 months is going to prepare you for the next 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And that stayed with me because we don't often think what we do today will really affect us in any major way tomorrow. But it does. When you start being intentional with your time,
Yes.
with the people you surround yourself with the company you keep, with the down to the profession you want to have, whether it's entrepreneurial, whether it's corporate, whether it's digital nomad, whatever it is you want to be and whatever it is you want to do, if you don't prepare and set yourself up now and be intentional,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to affect what your tomorrow looks like. So by me doing and taking into account what she said, and of course receiving what she said, because that's another thing too. Sometimes we be in seasons and we be in moments and we don't want to hear nothing, we don't want to see nothing, not knowing that not all storm comes to destroy us.
Right.
Some
Amen
storm
to that.
literally comes to prepare us
Right.
for the next level, or to test us to see if we are ready to go to the next level.
So let's talk about when you think about self-worth and you start to become intentional with how you live, and you talked about being intentional with who's in your circle, intentional with the choices that you make. What is it internally? What is the internal work that you have to do to say, you know what? Because a lot of it is about being selfishly unselfish, right? Putting ourselves first, putting our feelings first, putting what it is that we need to do first, for us. So some people might look at that as being selfish. How do you equate that, being selfishly unselfish, with self-worth?
Oh my God. It start with understanding and knowing what my worth and want was.
Mhm.
What is it I want? What did I want? What did I want out of this life? So let me give you guys a little backstory of who and what Tamesha really is. I am a woman. I am a daughter. I'm a mother. I am a free spirit, an exciting free spirit, but I'm also a woman living with HIV. And with an HIV diagnosis come challenges, mental challenges, emotional challenges, self-esteem challenges, and oftentimes more negative than positive.
Mhm.
And in those time, I will often resort to self-sabotaging. I didn't think that I was deserving of anything worthy of having. I didn't think that I was worthy within myself. So I would allow certain behaviors, certain things to happen to me, and also I would do to myself. So, in order for us to be abused physically and mentally and emotionally by someone else, we have to first do it to ourselves. And I know a lot of people may not agree with me with that analogy, but once we start taking accountability for our actions, it doesn't matter how good, how bad, how ugly. When we start taking accountability, it forces us to shift and create a shift within ourselves, within our environment, within our mind. And once we start doing that, then we start chipping away at some of the old ways that we used to have and the old behaviors that we would accept. And now we're setting boundaries within ourselves, but also enforcing those same boundaries with others.
So that's good. That's, first of all, you said so much, and I just want to say kudos to you, because when you look at demonstrating self-worth and self-care and really putting yourself in a position to, I'm going to say, attract everything that you deserve, right? And be intentional about your mission and your vision and everything that you're doing. I commend you. And what you said about self-worth in terms of creating boundaries and having self-awareness of why is it that I constantly find myself in these type of relationships, right? Or in these type of situations. People are overstepping boundaries. Why am I in a position where I'm not putting myself first, where I'm constantly saying yes when I know I really want to say no, right? And no is a one-word sentence, but we're constantly saying yes. Why am I a people pleaser? And when you start to really dig deep and see that a lot of those behaviors have nothing to do with other people, we can't get mad about saying yes when we want to say no, or allowing others to treat us in a way that we've allowed. But really digging deep and saying, why am I this way? And a lot of it, I think, does have to deal with unhealed trauma, generational behaviors. And my daughter's a clinical therapist, and she talked about how those behaviors are passed down, and we don't even realize that we do some of the same things or have done some of the same things that we've complained about. But to get yourself to that level and to take awareness, responsibility, and accountability for who you are and your actions, right? And then after doing that, allowing others to treat you the same. When you started making that shift, and you said 5 years ago, how did that impact your relationships? And this could be family, friends, colleagues. What happened with your circle? Did your circle enlarge, or did it turn into a dot? Like, how?
I'm glad you asked, Monique. We gonna get into it. So my circle was deserted. It became a desert.
Wow.
Because one, I no longer ascribed to certain things, conversations, behaviors, circles. And then the higher self and higher being within myself would feel awkward. But then on the flip side, my selfless self would be sad and would want to fix everything. There was nothing to fix. God showed you what he had to show you. Universe, God, whoever you want to call, whatever you want to call it, showed you what you needed to see. I kind of went through a whole personality, spiritual, emotional death, if you will.
Yeah.
A rebirth. And that new person didn't vibrate with who those people were. So it became very isolating.
You know what? That is, going through a rebirth and understanding. And the fact that you touched on, you had to think about it. And at one point you were like, okay, should I fix this? But then you had to say, no, this is where I am and who I am. And that's normal. That's what we do. We don't go from one extreme to the other extreme without sometime having second thoughts or saying, okay, this might not be the right thing. That's normal. But being able to push through and say, this is what it is. And this is what's going to benefit me. This is what works for me. And this is what I believe. It is disheartening, I can imagine, for that circle to then become a desert. With those relationships, have you mended any of them, or have any of those connections or friends or family members, have they come back around? Have they accepted who you are now and the boundaries that you set and the space that you're in?
Some have, some haven't. Some we have made attempts, but then realized that we were just better off being our separate ways. No love lost, no hard feelings, no illness, malice, nothing. Just love and light and wish you the best type of situation.
Okay.
And it's the same with like romantic relationships. I had horrible boundaries when it came to relationships with men. And now I found that not only do I get great or decent enough candidate,
That's a good way to put it.
And I'm going to call them candidates. But there's once I kind of like open up who I am and, disclose of my status, because I'm very open about my status, the dynamics kind of shifts and change a little, and not in a negative way, but in a way of sense where they feel like because I am positive, I am supposed to settle for bare minimum. And bare minimum I don't do. And bare minimum I don't do. Giving up my good goods I don't do. There was a time in my life where I did do that because I did not know my worth, nor did I value myself, nor did I love myself. But this person right here, she loved all of herself.
Right here.
She don't have a problem pleasuring herself. So if you think because you took me to dinner 2 times that I'm supposed to give you my good goods, honey, you better ask somebody about me. Like, listen, no, you're gonna be drier than the desert because it ain't happening. So yeah.
This is a good thing about Sis Table Talk. There are no hope. We keep it all the way real, okay? All the way real. We're going to give the real information. And the fact that you are able to be open and transparent with who you are and upfront, and in a space where it's like, you know what? No, I'm not settling. No matter what you think or how you feel. And when you think about self-worth, and even for the young women growing up, and your situation is just one out of many. For others, it could be low self-esteem, low self-confidence. It could be because of our complexion. It could be because of our size. It could be because of colorism. I've had several challenges. It could be because of traumatic experiences, right? That might have happened to us that we didn't deal with or heal from, that made us feel that we were less than others or less worthy. And until we get to a point where we deal with those things or we face those things, we're not going to change the trajectory. We're going to keep accepting someone else's bare minimum, whether it's in a romantic relationship, whether it's in a friendship, whether it's at work, while we're given 150%, right? So the fact that you're at a point where it's not happening, you're not doing that. This is what it is. This is Tamesha. This is where I am. Like me or leave me. That's it. What advice would you give to young women? So let's talk about our young women between the ages of 18, I'm going to say through 30. I'm going to say through 30 that are suffering with self-worth challenges now, especially social media. Whether it was right or it's not right, it's wrong, it's fake, it's whatever. It is, you have women looking in all age groups saying, I wish, I was like that. And it diminishes your own self-confidence and self-worth. What tips do you have for them?
I have so much tips, but I'm going to just leave them with a snippet, right? A snippet. One is to speak up. Ask for what you want. Let your yes be your yes, Let your no be your no. Don't second guess yourself. Don't backpedal and have a mental wrestle with yourself if you did or didn't do the right thing. You know you did the right thing. So whoever want to feel however, let their life be their teacher.
Mm-hmm.
You are not here to teach them anything. You are here to teach them to leave you the hell alone, let you get yourself together, love yourself. And if they can't give you what it is you're requiring or want, then that person is not for you. Leave them alone, because in the end, what's going to happen is you're going to end up hurting yourself more by staying in a situation or dealing with any situation for that matter that you know deep down that you don't really want or you don't really deserve. So speak up. Speak up for what you want and mean what you want. The next point will be your own hype person.
Yes.
I hype me up every day, every minute. I hype me up. You hear me? I have music that I put on that when I be in a train and I be shaking because I hype me up. You are your biggest cheerleader. And I know we live in a society where we often crave praise and we crave a seat at other people's table. And sis, you got what it takes. Okay. You got what it takes within you. Do you, and trust me, the world, your tribe, the people that needs to be within your vicinity will find you.
Right.
They will find you. But you have to first find you in order for them to even see you.
Yes. And in the comments, we do have good evening, great evening, amen. Another attendee said that's good. When you operate in self-love, then you'll know self-worth. So we have let your yes be yes and your no be no. That's straight to the point, but that's powerful. No second guessing. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. And then with your second point in terms of doing you, I feel also you can never say the wrong things or do the wrong things to the right people. So if it's the right people, they are there, they will be with you. So don't even worry about it. Don't just do, like you said, do you. You can't say the wrong things to the right people or do the wrong things to the right people. So we were at number 2. We have so true, no second guessing in the comments. What other nuggets do you have for us and for our young women?
Go against the grain.
Yes.
I know that especially us Black people, especially the ones who are ride or dies, who grew up in the hood, who are true to the game. Baby, the game ain't true to you. Go against the grain. And I'm not meaning it in a negative sense or being conniving. I mean, go against the grain, meaning I wrote down here, don't try to dim your light to make other people feel comfortable in your presence.
Oh, that's good. I hope someone hashtags that. Do not dim your light to make other people feel comfortable in your presence. And that is also at work. Can we talk about that at work?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
This is not just for love or self. This is all around.
Yes.
When you learn your worth carries you, your self-worth, self-love carries you throughout your life. Right. Because now you're setting boundaries with self and you're implementing and extending and upholding those boundaries with the outside people. And in the HIV world, we call it inner and outer locus of control. So your inner locus of control is within yourself. Your outer locus of control is with other people.
Love it. Love it. Okay, let me wait a minute. I'm just Mike. Let me just stop right here. Look at my mic. Okay. Several. I hope, listen, we have, yes, we have some hand claps in the comments. And I really did. I mean, when I tell you, I hope, and I'm going to, of course, we could reshare. So listen, for everyone in the audience, please make sure you like, comment, share, reshare. We are live on YouTube, we're live on LinkedIn, and we're also live in our Facebook group.
And we're live on TikTok on my page.
Yes, and we're live on TikTok. So we have another comment. Okay, right. Hashtag do not dim your light to make others comfortable in your presence. So this was excellent. We have 3. Before we get to them, we have a few more minutes. I just want to know, do you have any other pointers? And then I feel that, sometimes as Black women, and we talk about self-worth, we don't always toot our own horns. You are doing amazing things. Okay. And are several accomplishments that you haven't even mentioned. And yes, we can find you. We know where to find you on social media. We're going to get to that. Your website has been strolling across the bottom of the page, but I just want you to also share some of the amazing things that you're doing and some of the amazing platforms, including doing work internationally.
Absolutely. So professionally, I'm a linkage to care specialist with the AHF, which is the AIDS Healthcare Foundation. They are a global organization, and getting that job wasn't me, it was God. And I have to give him the praise, the honor, because I got this job in the middle of the pandemic, working 2 days out of the week, just doing HIV testing for them. I went from doing that to a part-time, full-time job with them in 6 months. And then 6 months after that, I was promoted to a linkage to care specialist, which is someone who link HIV positive people into care. And with that, not only does it align with my mission and life statement, because I live and breathe this life every day, I'm able to make an impact and change other people like me. And when I say like me, you don't see, it's not every day that you come on a live stream and you see a Black woman who's living loud and proud as a woman living with HIV and who is she's just glowing, because that's what I am. I'm just
yes, yes, you are.
And since you give me the green light to toot my horn, I'm going to toot my horn.
Yes.
And outside of AHF, I have my own organization called Openly Positive. Through Openly Positive, I was able to go back to my home country, where I am the first Saint Martiner to ever be public about her HIV status, and collaborate with the government of both sides of my islands. Shout out to my Vice President, Valerie Damazo, and shout out to Dr. Vanosh, who is the founder and CEO of AIDS Foundation Saint Martin. And also to Shadon McCants, because I couldn't have done this without her. She was my partner in this fight. We put our heads together. We went back to Saint Martin. We had a 5-day event of just bringing awareness to my people, my Saint Martiners. We did radio interviews. We did a private event where we just poured into 10 beautiful women on that island who was living with HIV, to the point where when we went to the program, that sponsored the ladies to us, when we told them that we were positive, they didn't believe us.
Wow.
They didn't believe us. Shout out to Dahlia at Edge St. Martin as well. And of course, here in the US, I'm just doing amazing things. As you can see, I have like a little Grammy Award section here. Okay.
Yes.
My Grammy Award. Okay. Don't yuck my yum.
Yes.
That's my yum. Don't yuck on it. Last year, I actually received a Young, Gifted, and Talented Award from Mr. Carl Gray, and I was awarded by Miss Dion Nichols, and I received the Professional Service and Life Coach Award for the Young and Gifted Black Entrepreneurial Award last year.
Love it.
I also received the 2020 Kawasaki Celebrating Those Thriving with HIV Award in 2020. Among those, I received some from ANS. Shout out to Chloe Natasha, the GOAT.
Yes, yes.
Kidspreneur. Shout out to Jatali and Nadine. And of course, I can't forget Miss Sassy Entertainment. She's another young lady doing amazing things within our community here in Queens and New York City. I received the Empress for Women's Month last year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And of course, my schedule is fully booked, and I'm just grateful, man. Like she I swear, she planted a seed that she didn't even know. Be intentional, and your today is gonna prepare you for your tomorrow. So I'm being very intentional to the point where I'm so intentional. I'm in my Tyler Perry phase. I like to call this my Tyler Perry phase. And the reason why I'm calling it my Tyler Perry phase is because for a few years, Tyler Perry was grinding and making it, and nobody knew that he was grinding and making it. They saw him making it, but they didn't know he was still grinding, and he kept his head down and just continued running, and that's where I'm at right now.
I absolutely love it. Tamesha, you are amazing, and what an amazing show to come back for Women's History Month. Okay, talking about celebrating and honoring women and all of the achievements. Kudos to you. And I didn't know, even though we've had several conversations, that you were the first person to go back in your country to discuss that, to discuss it openly. And congratulations and kudos to you. So I think your name is also going to be the SelfWorth Queen. Okay.
Aw, thank you.
Can't get any better than that. You can't, I mean, in the comments, I have to God be the glory. You're glowing. Your today is going to prepare you for your tomorrow. And that's amazing. Congratulations. You are amazing. Thank you so much for being part of the SIS network. Thank you for being part of our third anthology, which is coming out, Manifestation, Self-Love, and Abundance, which goes hand in hand with self-worth. We are having our next event, and I just wanted to, I don't have it up here, but we are doing the Boss Tour in Charlotte, which is coming in April 9th, Charlotte, North Carolina. But listen, this week is Saturday and Sunday. We have an amazing virtual summit coming up. Sisters Inspire Sisters, Self-Love, Manifestation, and Abundance. And yours truly, Miss Thamicha Isaac, okay, this amazing sister here is one of our featured speakers, and we're honored. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in to Sis Table Talk. Please like, share. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and you can find Ms. Tamesha's TikTok and find us on TikTok as well. So, Ms. Tamesha, how can we find you on TikTok?
So across platforms, my handle is Ms. Misha 721, which is St. Martin's area code. So it's Ms. MIIZMISHA 721. So that's TikTok, Instagram, and also I have a Facebook group with the same name. And also my Openly Positive, it's one word, Openly Positive on Facebook and Openly Positive on Instagram.
Thank you so much. And you can also visit the website, openlypositive.com. And if you're interested in having Tamesha come and speak for you or your organization, you can always go to openlypositive.com for all of Miss Tamesha's contact information. Thank you so much, sis.
Thank
Big
you for having me.
You. I love you. And I'll see you again on Saturday.
Yes, you will.
Have a great night, everyone.
Good night.